Hi guys, this is a video to illustrate basic spreadsheet techniques in Excel, and I'm going to use problem 13-2b as an example in this video. Problem 13-2b is in your textbook on page 527. So let's get started. First thing I'm going to show you is the zoom key. It's in the lower right hand corner. I'm going to zoom this up so it'll be bigger so we can see it better. And then at the top of every single spreadsheet that you turn in, you should put your name and the problem. Yeah, we can just say problem 13-2b. That's fine. And the next thing we got to do is build a heading. Now I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 columns. So I'm going to actually put in 10 columns, which would be, let's do 9. Going to scroll over and paint 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 columns. And I'm going to use the Merge and Center tool. And I'm going to do the same thing. And now if I hold down the Control key, I can actually highlight 2 different sections and merge and center those. So now what I have here is a 3-row heading. And I'm going to use the border tool and put a thick outside border. Anytime we want to draw lines, the border tool is how we do it. And there is a big box around that. And my heading is the Bluegrass Company, or Corporation. And this is a balance sheet. And we'll say 12/31/2019. Well, actually, we'll do 19 here. So we can format, because Excel can read a date, and we can format this as a date, and we can pick a different format. I like that format, and click OK. So I just right-clicked and went to Format Cells and then changed it. So I'm going to now build 3 years, and I'm going to have 2 columns for each year. So I'm going to merge and center these guys. 3 different sections. So this one is going to be 2019, 2018, and 2017. And this is going to be the amount and percent. Now, I want these to be centered, so I'm going to center them using the Center tool. And now I'm going to copy these 2 over here. So if I Control copy, Control C, I should say, Control V to paste, Control V to paste, or you can use the right click and copy and paste. So now we have our headings. And let's draw some lines up here. So I'm going to put box border around that. And I'm going to put a border around that. And I'm also going to make these guys a little smaller. Move the font down to maybe 9. So here's assets, current assets. I'm going to skinny up column A and column B, and maybe make column C a little wider. $54,860. So I don't like the format of that particular number, so I am going to format a whole section here for numbers. Right click, format cells, and what I always like is numbers with a comma, no decimal points. So I've got number, no decimal points, and it's going to use a comma. And that's the way the numbers look. And I can put in out here. So I'm going to stop the video and I'm going to move ahead and build the top half of the balance sheet. Okay, so I've added some lines and some numbers for the 3 years, totaling up total assets. And so now I'm going to build my percentages. So over here, because this is the base year, these are always going to be 100%. So I'm going to format those. I put them in 1 and then format cells, and I'm going to go to percentage and click OK. 2018, the percentage is going to be a formula that calculates, and let's build a formula. So how do we do that? Always start with the equal sign. Whenever you want to build a formula, you start with the equal sign. And we will then take the current year and divide it by the base year. So in this case, I've built a formula F9 divided by H9, which is going to calculate the percentage. And if we do the same thing, all the way down, and then format this for percent, we'll get those as a percentage of the base year. And we can do the same thing. Actually, I'm going to pause the video and do that. But first, let me show you this formula. This is the sum formula. This is probably the most useful formula that an accountant can use. It's up here. It's called AutoSum. It's the Greek symbol for sigma. So if you click on it, it will try to paint an area it thinks that you want to add up. In this case, it's correct. Those are the numbers I want to add up. So I just hit enter. But you can see the marching ants are defining what we're going to summarize. So I could do the same thing and did the same thing on these. I will stop the video. You calculate the percentages for 2019 on the base year, and I'll be right back. So if you did the calculations correct, these are the numbers that you got. So before we go any further, let's save this file. I'm going to go to File and Save As. And I will put this in my chapter 13 file, and this is going to be problem 13-2B summer 20. So now I can build the section below this for the liabilities. I'm going to use the same format as I did on the top, so then I can use the numbers to calculate some of the ratios. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. And let me point out some of the things that I've done. Of course, I built the liability and equity section down below. I have done some shading in these percent columns, just a amount of subtle using the paint bucket. Paint bucket's up here, and you have lots of different colors to choose from. Just be careful using a lot of different colors. Primarily because then when you print it, you don't. If you're printing it on a black and white printer, it doesn't. The colors don't come out. But anyway, the point is, we changed the formats. I also made them a little bit smaller. I made total liabilities and equity a little bit smaller using the font tool up here. But now I have a good looking balance sheet that I can use to build my income statement and do my other calculations. If you want to stop the video and get yours to look like stuff. So now what I'm going to do is freeze the panes. This is called view and freeze panes. And actually I want to do it on row 8. So view, freeze panes, and now when I scroll down, it will keep my headings so I can still see those. So I'm going to scroll down just a little bit and put a section down in here, and it's called Calculation of Working Capital. And the calculation of working capital, make it just a little bit smaller so it fits in the cell a little better. Working capital is current assets minus current liabilities. So working capital for 2019 is $32,490. And I'm going to show you how to use another tool. It's the drag tool. In the lower right-hand corner of the cell is a little box. When you move the cursor, then your plus sign becomes a skinny plus sign, and then you can just drag it over, and it will calculate the same thing in those columns. Now, we wouldn't do this on percent, so I'm going to delete those, but that gives you a little bit of a shortcut. And then we will calculate the current ratio by taking current assets and dividing them by current liabilities. And when you build the formula, you can either click the cell or you can type the formula in. So in my case, it's D9 divided by D15. That doesn't look very good, so I'm going to format it for, whoops, I'm in the wrong place. So let me stop, cut this out. But now I need to format this current ratio to look better, and then I can copy that over as well. Actually, I don't need to go, and then delete these guys here. So my current ratio 2.45, 1.7, 2.2. And I think in the problem they tell you to just format it for 1 decimal point. So we'll do that. We've got the decimal tool up here and a comma format tool there. I'm going to stop the video and I'm going to, well, before I do that, let me copy the headings from above because I need to build an income statement. So I'll just go ahead and copy up above and then paste it down below. Change the heading to say income statement. And this is going to be for the years ended. And that's all I need to put in because I've got put December 31. And I've got the years down below, so that's good. I'll stop the video. I will build the income statement, and I will be right back. Okay, I'm back, and I have built an income statement for 2017, 2018, and 2019, done some formatting, drawn some lines, made it look nice. And I've calculated percentages based on sales. So I've taken each item in the income statement and I've divided it by sales to get these percentages. Now, in the book, they tell you they want you to carry each percent out to 2 decimal points. That seems a little more than I would put. 1 decimal point is fine, but that's what they told us. So I formatted that to add some decimal points. And then I made the column a little bit wider, and I'm going to have to do that in G and E. But now that I've done these formulas in column I can just copy them. Control C to copy, Control V to paste, Control V to paste. Or you can right click and copy and paste. So now I've got these formulas that are in 2019 and 2018. Okay, I'll stop the video there, and then we'll talk about printing. Okay, so I've done some formatting on the balance sheet as well, so it has 2 decimal points. But when I did that, I got these pound signs, and I wanted to explain what those mean. That means whenever you get pound signs, that the column is not wide enough to display the numbers. So just need to scoot that over a little bit by moving the cursor in between the column headings. So I'm in between the E and the F, holding down the mouse button, and then I can just move it to make it a little bit wider. So I'm going to save my spreadsheet. I've already named it. I just need to save it up at the top with the little floppy disks that we don't use anymore. And now I'm going to print. So if I highlight the whole spreadsheet, which includes both the income statement or the balance sheet on the top, the income statement on the bottom, and I go to page layout, print area, set print area. I'm telling Excel this is what I want to print. Then I go to File and Print, and I get an image of what it's going to look like. And I see, uh-oh, it's on 2 pages. And part of it is going to be on page 1, and a little sliver of it is on page 2. And that's going to look really stupid. So I need to fix that. So I'm going to go to Page Setup, and I'm going to click the little radio button that says Fit 1-to-1. I'm also going to center it horizontally and vertically on the page using margins. And I'm going to reduce the left margin and the right margin a little bit so that when I'm done, it looks like this. So it's nice and centered on the page. Everything looks great. So now I could print this if I wanted to, but just click print. I'm not going to do it right now, but you know how to do that. But what I am going to do is I'm going to save this file because I just made changes. And now I'm going to save it as a PDF file. So when you go to save as, you have the option of creating a PDF file right in Excel. You can just keep it the same name and I'll click save. And what's going to happen is I will get a PDF file of my spreadsheet. You can save it to your disk and upload it into Canvas. Oh, I just noticed something that I need to fix, and I will. Okay, when I realized when I saw the PDF file that I have some numbers down here that need dollar signs. Not a big deal, but we usually like to have dollar signs on the first and last number of any schedule. So I did that on the balance sheet. First and last number, and on the income statement. So now I've got what I need, and when I print it, it will look nice. So that's it for now. Problem 13-2B. I hope this was helpful in getting you to use Excel because it's a very, very powerful tool. Bye for now.